Good morning. Today is Monday, and you have joined us for Monday Momentum. Make some money, honey. It is 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we get together once a week on Monday mornings to start our week off right, really launch ourselves into the week full of success, full of enthusiasm and momentum. So I am joined this morning by my normal cast of characters, starting with my partner in crime, the brainchild, the person behind the Monday Momentum tagline, and that is Sarah Coolidge. Sarah, can you say hi to everyone today?
I can and I will. Good morning, everyone. From sunny, or soon to be sunny, California. It's 7 a.m. here, Pacific Standard Time. So congratulations to all you people on the West Coast who have decided to join us today, because we know that means you really got up and got your day going, and that's the whole idea. Monday Momentum is designed to have your week start out in the right frame of mind with the right energy, so that when you slide into Friday, you have really achieved something this week and gone in the direction that you wanted to go, instead of perhaps a little bit scattered. So congratulations for joining us. Back to you, Julia.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone again, and I'd like to say good morning to Linda Kay, who is the second partner in crime on this Monday morning Momentum program, Make Some Money, Honey. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
That's exactly right. Today is January 5th, and it is the first Monday since Happy New Year. We are getting everything started right. And Brenda, can you say hi to everyone, too?
I can. Good morning, everybody. Wonderful, successful, prosperous New Year. I feel it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we do have another guest on this morning, which is Chuck Howard, and I'm not sure if he is able to chime in and say hi. Chuck, are you there?
Hello. Hope everyone had a good New Year.
We are having a good New Year.
Fantastic, and we're all ready and raring to go. We had a few technical difficulties on my end. I turned my computer monitor off this morning, which was really funny, so I couldn't see anybody else's face. But now I can see everyone, and I would love to hear from everybody what they have decided as far as the launch of the New Year is, and their goals and their resolutions. And I would like to say that for me, what I'm really focused on this year and what I really want to do is follow my dream and follow my heart, and be always selling and always earning income, and keeping that in the forefront of my mind, so that I have a weekly goal. That is definitely something that I'd like to work on and focus on this year, is a specific weekly goal of income that we're working on, and how much money I'm going to be making every single week, and working toward that. We have lots of viewers from across the country. This has been growing by leaps and bounds over the last year that Sarah and I have been doing the Monday morning Momentum Google Hangouts, and we get callers and viewers from all over the country, all over the globe, and get input. We focus pretty heavily on making sure that you're always an income generating activity, but each week we talk about something new. And Sarah, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a New Year's resolution this year that you're going to be focusing on?
Just one? I wish I hadn't, we just had our vision board party on Saturday, and so I wish that I brought it downstairs to show you, because this is my absolute favorite time of year, because of things like making new plans for the new year. And I think that Brenda needs to mute. There's something going on there, so if you do that, that would help us.
Brenda, can you mute?
It's not me. There's no sound here.
Okay.
There you go. I don't know, maybe it's not. There's something happening on my end, but that helps. Thanks. And there's something there, too. So for me, I love your goal of making sure that we're always in financial mode, meaning that the things that we're doing are either making us money or leading us to a point that we're making money. Not that 100% of my life is going to be around that, but that's certainly one of the things that I'm focusing on this year. And then the other one, my family and I are going to Africa in July to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So this is a huge effort, and there's a lot of, obviously, physical training to get ready, mental training to get ready, and sort of spiritual and family stuff. So I'm going to be busy until July 30th or 31st, and then I don't know what we'll be doing after that. But there's a lot going on the first 6 months of this year. So.
have you chosen a specific dollar goal that you have in mind as far as how much you want to generate this year? I'm asking you, Sarah, but then I'm going to kick that question over to Brenda and to Linda. I'd really like to hear, have you, and I don't need to know what the number is. I'm just wondering, have you laid down any specifics as far as I want to generate
Yeah.
$50 a day, which is X dollars a
Ooh.
week, or have you thought about I want to make sure that I speak to 100 new customers a week or anything like that? Have you chosen any hard and fast?
Have I put any numbers on it to be accountable with? Is that what you're talking about? I've done a few, but not enough. I'm feeling that instantly the minute that we started talking about it, especially around, I very much want to use, if I can, the adventure of getting ready to do this with my family as an educational piece for either webinar, book, something like that. So obviously there needs to be some real planning there and some numbers there. So yeah.
Wonderful.
And then, like I said, the second half of the year, I'm just going to coast. Not really, but.
Linda, I'm curious, Linda, have you laid down any dollar amounts or any specific numbers that you want to focus on new customers, new contacts per week? Have you chosen a number at all? You don't have to tell me what it is, but have you picked a number?
You know, Julia, I have not, but every Monday morning I join this call and they keep talking about that, so it's starting to sink in. My initial reaction is I want to go for balance this year. So it's not just all about the money, it's about enjoying the whole process and balancing work and enjoying life's pleasures. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll get a number because like I say, this Monday momentum puts things like that in my brain, and I'm going to be doing that. So
Great. I am very glad to hear that. I'm very, very excited and encouraged by that. And Brenda, have you picked a number that you would, number of hours you want to work, number of new contacts you want to make, number of calls, dollars that you want to earn daily, weekly, monthly? Have you chosen anything yet?
Um, this is the first year I've really made an effort to work from the end to now, and I didn't realize how many hours that took. So I am on hour, I guess, about 8 with my business plan for the year. And so, yes, but I have to then, after I decided how much money I wanted to make, I had to figure it out by pay plans to make sure it was reasonable and feasible. So, yes, I am in the process, but I should finish before the next Monday.
Wonderful. That's great. I can't wait to hear the progress on that, actually. Chuck, you're there. Does this ring true with anything you've been working on? Have you chosen a number of new customers, amount of money that you want to generate?
I think I like to generate 2 to 3 customers per week. Like to make I don't know 65,000 this year,
I think
70,000.
that's reasonable for the area that we live in. That definitely is, in the Baltimore region. I would say that's definitely a pretty reasonable amount of money to generate. Well, for me, as what I'm working on and how much I'd like to do as far as income and number of new customers and number of contacts, I've actually taken it away from the actual specific dollar amount, which is the very first time in my sales career, which goes back longer than I'd like to admit, but it's the very first time in my sales career that I'd like to actually focus on number of sales and number of contacts per week as opposed to focusing on a dollar amount. So for me, I am truly going to be focusing on selling a specific number of items per week, and number of contacts and number of new contacts that I'm making. This has been an ongoing conversation that we've been having about these Facebook groups, and I'm going to harp on this again because I know you all are just dying to hear me talk more about these Facebook groups. But I really do want to point out that we haven't gotten too deep into the Google Plus communities. And there are lots and lots of communities on Google Plus where you can go and make new contacts, sell new items, and really break into new ground. But what I would like to point out is that these Facebook groups will allow you to post something again and again, make new contacts, reach out to new people who are specifically interested in being network marketers and having a direct sales business, which will in turn build your residual income. I'm going to put somebody who's in this group on the spot. Somebody raise your hand if you want to. Can somebody tell me what residual income means to them? And I can tell you what it means to me, but is there somebody here who can tell me what residual income means to them? Sarah, you want to? Oh, good. Sarah, go for it.
It means security to me. I'm not sure if that's the kind of question you were asking.
Yeah, that's
But
absolutely
that's
what I mean.
what it means to me. It's something that I can count on.
Yeah, what does it mean to you? How does it affect and impact your life? And why is residual income important? And could you define for me specifically what residual income is? And then I want to hear from everyone, really.
Well, a true residual income is income that you continue to generate after doing some piece of work. Whatever, I mean, for many multi-level marketing companies, that means you enrolled a certain number of people, you've sold a certain amount of product, and after that point, you get X% of the sales every month, regardless of if you do anything else again. And, different companies have different requirements, but a true residual income is when you don't have to continue to do anything. There's not very many of them out there. Most of them require some kind of minimal continuing participation of some kind. But for instance, if you wrote a book and it continues to sell over and over and over again and you get 10% of the sales or something, that would be a residual income. You're not writing the book over and over again. You only did that one time. There's not very many true residual incomes, but there's lots of almost true residual incomes, meaning the true one, you would never have to do anything again. Most of them, you still have to do something. But, if you can get something that pays you out over 20 or 30 years and you don't have to do very much, that's fabulous.
Elvis, Michael Jackson, they have residual income even after their
death. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Brenda, can you tell me a little bit about residual income and what that actually means? And is that something that's important to you when you're working with new people in your organization? Not specifics, but generalities.
Right. Well, I can be very specific because that is why I work network marketing and multi-level marketing companies. I have a special needs person in my life, and I have to make sure that they have a continual income. And then I'm endowing my college, my university, where my husband and myself attended, so they can be tuition free. Residual income is the only place and thing that I can do that would give me enough income month to month, week to week, that would sustain both of those things, those goals.
Have you experienced real residual income from any business that you've worked in, or do you feel like you're working toward it but haven't achieved it?
No, I have achieved it with 2 other companies. So I know it works.
I would agree, and I actually have that as well, and it's where I made a sale once, and I've been able to generate income from that again and again and again, and use that income to do other things that I want to do, or to take care of my family or my friends, or live my life or pay my bills. However, I've been able to generate some residual income as well. In a different kind of a way, but definitely through network marketing, and I'm a firm believer in residual income because I think that's the truly best way to grow and expand your income and keep moving forward. And I think it's kind of a confusing topic. Linda, have you ever experienced residual income, or is that something you've been working toward?
It is something that is on my priority list for 2015. Yes, I've received residual income over the years, and every time I, get a check or see a deposit, it's like, yes, because it just happens, and it's such an awesome feeling. 2015, I am going to make a concentrated effort that residual income is coming my way. So absolutely. Working on a great platform for doing that. It's not quite launched yet, but we're getting close.
That is fantastic. Well, I have to be honest, and you all, I can always be honest with you all and tell you my deep dark secrets here. I never really understood what residual income was. It always sounded great, kind of sounded like pie in the sky, sounded like something that happened for people who were very, very wealthy and wrote a book, like you just said, Sarah, or sang a song or did something like that. I didn't really understand what that meant, and I didn't feel impact until Brenda a long time ago. And I have to tell you, Brenda, you really made the difference for me. You explained to me what it meant to have a residual income coming in when there was a crisis.
Yeah.
And when you couldn't go to work, you couldn't do it, even as a self-employed working from home person, it didn't matter. If you didn't have any money coming in, what were you going to do if there was a crisis situation? And that affected me last year in 2014. And I didn't really know what I was going to do, and I realized that I had this wonderful residual income. It wasn't a lot, but it was just enough of a cushion that I wasn't completely a wreck, and I wasn't completely panicked. And so now I want to say that for 2015, building additional residual income is absolutely important to me. So when I think of my sales career, I think of the two pieces that I've had. The one piece being I make a sale, I generate a commission, I take that commission and I spend it, I use it to live my life. So a one-time sale and a one-time earning. The other piece of my life that everybody's just talked about is residual income. Make a sale and for the rest of your life generate some capital and some income. Extremely important. Absolutely foundational for moving forward. Um, I'd love to know what you all think as far as residual income and if it's really impacted your lives and how you've been able to transform your life based on having a residual income. The other topic that makes me think of course, is multiple streams of income, which I'd love to talk about later, which means having income coming from more than one place, right? But Sarah, do you have any other thoughts on residual income that maybe I've missed or forgotten to mention?
Well, I love what you said about, when we realize that we need it, it's there, and it may not be much sometimes because we haven't built a big one. I mean, I have a small residual income based on some work I did 6 years ago that keeps coming in every month. It's fabulous. And of course, it would be bigger if I had done more work or if I was doing more of it right now. And so that's the other thing to remember. And when you said you wanted to build your residual income this year, it's like, okay, well, how are we going to do that? And is it going to be a bunch of different things, or is it going to be one concentrated effort on one thing? And, the multiple streams, gosh, there must be at least 6 different streams of income that you've already got going that I know about for you and for me as well. And it's always the question, do we want to grow those streams or do we want to add another stream?
That is so exciting to hear you say that, which really makes me think of when you're recruiting someone new into an organization or when you're talking to them about their why. Why do you want to do this business? Why do you want to do a business? So again, I do want to point out that Brenda was the one who brought that to my attention. Brenda, how important would you say it is for most people? Do they really get it in their heart, in their body? Do they feel the need for residual, or is this something that you're introducing them to a new idea?
I think people understand a need, but most people are still in the job mode
Okay.
and thinking that it has to come in a retirement. So initially, if it's somebody who's not familiar with an MLM or network marketing, you have to make them understand the relationship to residual and retirement. Now, residual, if you pick the right company, will go on forever. But even retirement, even government retirements, if you read the small print, it has a year cap on it. It's not forever. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. So that's what you have to help people with, that they need something that will be perpetual. And they cannot build, and people get confused about the multiple streams of income. They try to build more than one company at a time. It's almost impossible. You have to commit to one company, build it, get your volume up, make sure it's something that's going to sustain itself, and then introduce another company. So novices get confused with that. So they'll read and they think that they can do it, but it's too distracting. You can't do it.
I totally understand what you're saying. I absolutely agree. I would like to point out that, again, everyone talked to me about residual income, and as much as I understood the concept, I didn't feel it in my heart, my body, my soul until Brenda explained to me how it had impacted her life. So I would like to express for everyone that's out there that's growing their network marketing business that sometimes even when you're explaining a concept or an idea, unless you make it a tangible, realistic piece of someone's life and a part of their why, they may not understand why it's so important. But I would like to say that a really good sales hack or a good life hack for explaining residual income is to talk about someone like a Michael Jackson or an Elvis or Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, somebody who did something back in the 50s who are long since passed away and are still being paid. But that's good to explain the concept. But when you're talking about, I have someone in my life that may need my help. Now, for a mother, that's going to be her kids as a first point of reference. I mean, if you have children and something happened to your child and you went to work and you said to your boss, I'm going to need 6 months off because my baby needs me, what is your boss going to say? Right? In my life, it wasn't like that. It was actually a parent who was older, and something happened to my parent. And I just didn't want to think, how would I take care of this person when a real crisis situation came into play? I don't want to wait and worry. And Brenda, you're the one who brought that really home to roost with me. I didn't get that until there was a crisis, and I thought, my God, what would I do if I didn't have this cash flow coming in? So, I mean, Linda, I know I see you're thinking really hard about that, and I just wondered if that's ever touched you or been a part of. I'm bringing this home because this is the beginning of our year, and I think it's really important that if we're going to get on track, we need to feel these things head to toe, really get them in our body so that we're making a move. I don't think there's a paradigm shift unless it's really felt. And that's what I want to do today, is have a real paradigm shift for the beginning of the year. So Linda, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
Well,
She goes, oh no! Really, as part of the conversation, has this been something that you've experienced? Have you ever been concerned that you need to be able to have time off or an income coming in to take care of someone?
well, as I mentioned in the beginning of this webinar here, is balance is going to come into play in 2015. And residual income is a major part of that balance, because I want to wake up in the morning and log in and go, oh, that's what I made last night. Okay? I want to be able to take time off to, have lunch with my daughter, play with my grandson, or wherever it happens to be. And if I don't have this real need to put in the hours like, most folks with a job, I'm free to do the things that I want to do. So again, 2015, the year of residual income. I'm working on it. We're close to launch. It's going to happen.
I can't wait to hear about what it is.
I'm with Sarah. So Sarah, tell me what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your input.
Well, what I actually was thinking about this morning before we even started this call is kind of another aspect or another angle on residual income, because for me, what you've talked about, if you had an emergency, if your child needed you to take, if you needed to take time off of work, that's exactly what happened to me. I took time off of work to take care of my mother when she needed help, and then my job disappeared. So, it's exactly what I've been through, and that part is over now. But the person that I think about the most, that I might need residual income for, is right here, because it's not. There's going to be a time where I will be older, and who knows what that's going to mean. And if my mom hadn't had some money put away, it would have been a lot different than how it went. And I believe residual income is going to be really important to me at some point in my life. Whether or not my children need it, I know I might, and that's really what I'm focusing on. And another piece of it is, at least something about what Linda said triggered this for me. There's a lot of stuff that we want and things that we may or may not have now, but we would like to have. And of course, money helps us get those things. But everything that we have comes with a price. Everything you have to do some upkeep on. It takes time to take care of it. You have to, whatever it is, nothing is free, truly, even once we own it. And so turning some of the assets that you might already have, excuse me, not assets, but liabilities, meaning for me, my house, when I've turned it into an asset is when I've rented out a room and now I have a stream of income. So there are other ways to generate income that you can count on that's residual in that sense, meaning it repeats over and over and over again, that may or may not be multi-level marketing, which I just want to throw out there because I know that there are people that have a little in the back of their mind about network marketing, multi-level marketing. Marketing is marketing, and more than one stream of income, isn't anybody in business that's not going to say that's a great idea. So I just want to kind of challenge us to expand beyond just the idea of residual, but also more than one stream. Whether or not it's going to last forever, if it lasts for 5 years, that's okay by me. That's still going to help.
It's interesting because you've absolutely kind of guided us and given me a segue toward where I was going. We're getting ready to wrap up. We're 4 minutes out. I just want to make you all aware that when I talk about residual income, it gets me thinking of two other topics. The first one being multiple streams of income, and the second one being it's really one piece of the sales process for working with somebody. But the reason it's so important is because it goes back to that basic fundamental of transference of emotion. When you can transfer your emotion and your passion, I see Brenda's head nodding up and down. It's 100% what I was thinking. When I can transfer my feelings about something, about residual income, or my fears, or my why, or my desire to be able to do whatever, transferring my emotion is what makes it easier for me to sell, recruit, build my business in whatever way. Does that
If
make
I
sense?
could just teeny bit, I want to add, because I know we have very little time, but when I said that's exactly what happened to me, my mother fell, I needed to take care of her, I had to take time off, thank goodness I could, everybody's head nodded. That was the transfer of emotion right then and there. They could imagine that could happen to me, or how awful that might be if it happened to me, or thank God my mom's okay, or whatever, and the emotion of, oh, that's, ooh, it's exactly what was happening right then.
Absolutely. And I see, Brenda, did you want to add anything to that? No? Okay. She says no. Well, it's really true. And what ended up happening for me is I realized that, yes, I am worried about my parents, but I am worried about me. And I don't want to be the one. And when you said that, I might get older, or I'm going to get older, or what's going to happen if I don't
Hopefully.
have a little put by. Yeah, that's going to happen. So it was immediately, I felt it in my body. So I would like in our last couple of minutes before we do our sign-offs, just to say that part of the success that I've had, whether it was in recruiting or selling, was to get myself into a position of feeling the feeling that I wanted to share, whether it was excitement, enthusiasm, fear, love, or hate. Because I'm a firm believer that sales is all about fear, love, and hate. Uh, Fear of loss. I love that product. I hate the thought of not having it. Whatever the fear, love, and hate are. But to get yourself into that position so that you can transfer that emotion, whatever that is, so that you can really bring somebody into the new space. So we started out talking about, do you have a goal? Do you have something specific in mind? So let's say you don't. Let's say you're just working from the very beginning. Simple thought, talk about the individual pieces of the puzzle, residual income, transference of emotion. I'd like to kick it over to everybody to do a quick sign off. Brenda, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Linda, then Sarah, then back to me again. Brenda?
I'm focusing on consistency. You know, whatever I put down to do daily, it must be.
I love it. And how can we find you?
BrendaGraham.com, your success mentor.
BrendaGraham.com. BrendaGraham.com. That's how we find her. And Linda Kay? Can I have a quick sign off from you?
2015, the year of residual income. It's going to happen. Linda Kay or linda@lindakay.com.
Absolutely awesome. Sarah Coolidge, give me a sign off, baby.
Okay, baby. So thank you again for coming to Monday Momentum. You're going to have a rockin' week, and it's because you started it out the right way with the right feelings. I just want to say that I am Sarah Coolidge. You can find me at ceospacewest.com. What I do is help small entrepreneurs, businesses, people that are working from home or just getting started, get their business up and running and rocking. See you next Monday.
Oh, that's awesome. And I am Julia FlynnWerre of MakeSomeMoneyHoney.com, Word of Mouth Wired. You can find us here every single Monday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, for a quick 30-minute launch into your week. We talk about really great ideas for building your business, whether it's a network marketing business or not. And every single Friday, we're going to be starting a program by subscription only, a private class that you can participate in. You can find me at juliaflynnwerre.com or makesomemoneyhoney.com. Join us every Monday morning. Just click the big orange button to be a part of the show. And thank you so much. We're signing off.
Bye. Have a great week.